Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to Girls for STEM. Welcome to STEM Hangout. Thank you so much everyone for coming. We are so excited to have
Hi
you guys.
everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to
Maybe
Girls
if you
for
guys
STEM.
can mute
Welcome
your
to STEM Hangout.
mute
Thank you
your
so much everyone for coming. We are so excited to have you guys.
Hi everyone. Guys, if you can mute
Maybe if
your
you guys can mute your
STEM Hangout.
Thank you so much everyone for coming. We are so excited to have you guys.
Hi everyone.
Guys, if you can mute your
Yeah, we're having a repetition, guys. Come on. If you are not in this session, can you exit and come later? We are getting an echo, please,
We're
please.
having a repetition, guys. Come on. If you are not in this session, can you exit and come later? We are getting an echo, please. We're having a repetition, guys. Come on. If you are not in this session, can you exit and come later?
Wow. Yeah, it's creating an echo and sorry guys about that. So we are trying to ensure that maybe can you exit everybody except Suzanne? Everybody exit except Suzanne. Thank you. Everybody exit except Suzanne.
Maybe can you exit everybody except Suzanne?
Everybody exit except Susan, guys.
Everybody exit except Suzanne. Everybody exit except Susan, guys.
Patrick, can you exit? Sorry about that, guys. We have a problem with the mics. Can everybody exit except Susan? Everybody exit except Susan, please. Everybody exit.
Guys, we have a problem with the mic. Can everybody exit except Susan? Everybody exit except Susan, please. Everybody exit, guys. We have a problem with the mic. Can everybody exit except Susan? Everybody exit except Susan, please. Everybody exit, guys. We have exit except Susan. Everybody exit everybody exit.
Hi, Susan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, my apologies. My apologies. We had so much echoes, but thank you so much again for coming. I just want to say thank you guys for coming. And
Okay.
we are going to
Guys,
start.
My apologies. We had so much echoes, but thank you so much again for coming. I just want to say thank you guys for coming.
Wow.
And
guys, we are having an issue with the echoes. I don't understand. Let me see if I can just exit and come back again. Hold on one second. Hi guys. Sorry about that. We're having issues with the echoes, making so many, issues. But I hope we are okay now. Oh my God! I was like, oh,
Hi
oh,
guys.
I
Sorry
think
about that.
it's
We're
still
having
not
issues with
stopping.
the echoes, making so many, issues. But I hope we are okay now. Oh my God! I was like, oh,
Hi guys.
oh, I
Sorry
think
about that.
it's still not stopping. The echoes, making so many, issues. But I hope we are okay now. Oh my God! I was like, oh,
Hi guys.
oh, I
Sorry
think
about
it's
that.
still not stopping. The echoes,
Okay, one
making
second,
so
guys.
many,
One more. One second.
issues. But
Let's try one more time, guys. I'm getting worried. I hope you guys can still hang on, but let's see what happens. I'm having issues with the volume. So let's see, Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Okay, let's wait a second and see if it's going to do again. Okay, I think it's okay. Hopefully, it's okay.
I think you
All
can try
right.
using headphones too, maybe because the speaker and the mic are close to each other.
Yeah, I think you know what I noticed. One of my links was open for YouTube, so I don't know. Maybe that was okay. I think so far so good, guys. My apologies. I really, really apologize, and thank you for still hanging in and staying in. Please, thank you so much. Again, we are here, guys, to hang STEM hangout, and I have guests with me that I'm going to introduce to you. So let's start right away because we had issues. I apologize, really, I apologize. So please, hope everybody can come in again. I'm so sorry. Now I think everything is fine. I guess I had one link open for YouTube because I was trying to share the link to, people. So that was the problem. So Susan, let's start. So thank you so much, Susan, for coming. Would you please introduce yourself?
Sure, it's no problem. Thank you for having me. So my name is Suzanne. I am a senior at California State University Northridge, and my major is currently electrical engineering.
Wow, that's interesting. So, guys, again, if you're coming here for the first time, this is STEM Hangout. This is where we are going to hear stories of how engineers, scientists have navigated their STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we have Suzanne here. She's still at California State University and she's doing electrical engineering. So, Susan, one interesting thing I would like to know, how did you get to do science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? How did it start? Where did it spark finally? Like, oh, I'm interested in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Could you please share with us, with our
Sure.
viewers?
Yeah, so I mean, growing up, going to school, I always noticed that I was pretty good at math, right? Um, and I always liked, building things with my hands. But at that point in time, before high school, I never really felt like I had a passion for anything. So when I was in high school, I was like, oh, I think I'm just going to go be an accountant. Like, I think I can do it. It should be easy. Like, no calculus that I need, right? I was scared of calculus for whatever reason.
Yes.
But on my junior year and senior year of high school, I ended up entering the mechanical, like mechanic program in my high school, which you can get a certificate to be a mechanic and things like that.
Yes.
So I joined that program, and I was able to learn a lot about how to fix up cars. I did an internship at Honda at one of their dealerships. And so what happened was my teacher for that particular program signed me up for this competition called Skills USA.
And
And
how old were you? Sorry.
no worries. I believe I was 18 at the time already. Well,
Okay.
when I got entered in that competition, I probably was 17 still.
Yes.
So I got entered in that competition. I didn't plan to. I just kind of got entered against my will by my professor.
Yes.
And so what I needed to do for that competition was to write like a 15-page paper on an engineering topic. And
Wow.
so what I ended up choosing was electrical engineering. And I believe I had talked about the Faraday cage and things like that. So as I was learning more about it to write this paper, I was like, wow, like all of this is so amazing, right?
Yes.
So, as I'm getting closer and closer to graduating from high school, I'm like, you know what? I think I want to do this instead of accounting, because accounting I didn't have a passion for. I just went and did it. But
Yes.
so with the engineering, I was like, I really enjoyed learning about it. And so as I'm, filling out my college applications, I was like, okay, you know what? I went and put down electrical engineering as my major of interest.
Wow, that's interesting. So, when you were growing up, for example, when you were growing up, when you were young, like maybe a little girl, did
Mhm.
anything come up concerning you trying to do engineering, or were your parents insinuating something? Can you share with us?
Sure. Yeah. So as far as before that part of my life, no one in my life had encouraged engineering, but no one had also discouraged it, right?
Yes.
People in my family typically are nurses, and so that was kind of like, oh, you can just be a nurse, things like that. But I can't handle, the blood, all of that stuff. So I was like, no, never. I'll never go into that field. So yeah, I never actually had anyone in my life that was like, yeah, I think you should really do engineering. So it just kind of like, again, that moment in my life when I was in high school, that's really when the engineering um, became like an interest in my mind.
Wow. And it's so intriguing because even me, for example, I went and finished engineering when I was much older, not
Mhm.
in my early years. I never thought about it, but I loved math, I loved science, and later on in my years, I decided to go and do so. It doesn't matter what age it sparks for you to do science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So then, who would you think is your role model?
Um, Probably Ashley, from the Ames program. I
Yes,
really look up to her. We're both commuter students. We live close to each other, so we're both driving. The 50
yes,
mile drive plus. But she really inspires me because although she also is later on in her life pursuing the engineering route. I mean, she is a mom. She has worked so many jobs in her life. To get like she really had struggled and has gotten to this point in her life, and it's really inspiring how she has really persevered, and she's very successful. So it's like you don't have to be going and doing engineering when you're 18, when you're 21. You
correct.
could do it at any time in your life. you know
Wow, wow, that's interesting. And what would you say are your challenges?
um Definitely, as a commuter student, it's definitely hard to balance that. Okay, I'm going to be stuck in traffic for 2 hours. I still need to study. That 2 hour waiting in traffic would be 2 hours of studying, right? So, the fatigue and things like that. But I think my biggest challenge actually is um, to stop doubting myself, right? I doubt
Yes,
myself all the time. Like, again, I mentioned that I was scared of calculus. I never even attempted to do it, but I was just like, oh, calculus sounds so scary. Like, I don't even
yes,
want to attempt it, right?
yes,
And so, just even till now, I've done 3 calculus courses, right? I've
yes,
done all these courses where, I never in my life did I think that I would be able to build a circuit like a common emitter circuit, right? But here I am, I've done it, and
yes,
it's like, but before I did it, I was just like, oh, I'll never be able to do this, right? Like, this is out of my reach. But it's realizing that these things aren't out of my reach and having more confidence in myself, and not trying to not have the imposter syndrome and things like that. I would say that's personally my biggest challenge is just to keep believing in myself, and to never tell, to stop telling myself like, this is out of my reach, because even if I don't do it tomorrow or a week from now, slow and steady wins the race. So just got to keep on trying, persevering, and eventually my goals will be reached.
yes, yes. Again, you guys, Suzanne is still at California State University. I was at California State University. I was pursuing manufacturing systems engineering, and she and also Ashley, I'm actually working with them, encouraging girls to pursue science, technology, engineering. These are amazing women. I mean, if you see what they're doing, it's just amazing. And Suzanne, what would you tell a girl growing up now that you've
Mhm.
gone through science and technology? So, what would you say? I give you time so you can share that.
Sure. No, definitely. I would say don't think that it's out of your reach. When I was in community college, I was in a like calculus class, I was maybe the third out of only 3 girls in the class, right? Out of 30 students, there's only 3 girls, right? And a lot of the girls in there were thinking like, oh, like this is so hard. Like I won't pursue this major specifically because I think I just can't do it, right? But definitely don't tell yourself that you'll never be able to do it. There's nothing wrong with not graduating in 4 years. I mean, I'm going to graduate after 7 years, and I'm not embarrassed about it. Again, slow and steady wins the race, and as long as you meet your goals, that's what's important. What's not important is how long it took you to do it. As long as you get it done, then it's fine. Nothing to be embarrassed about at all. So always believe in yourself, and and if you're not sure if you want to do STEM, just try it. There's nothing wrong with taking you put your foot in the door, trying it out, and if you feel like you don't like it, then it's okay to step back and try something else. But don't not give it a try just because you're thinking to yourself, I can't do this.
Wow. You know what? It's so interesting. I'll tell you what, sometimes people look at the years that you're about to pursue your science and technology, and they kind of discourage you. I got those vibes of saying, why are you wasting so much time? And I got depressed at one point.
Yes.
But can you imagine who I've become now? And I would like to encourage young girls that are pursuing science and technology, that it's not about how long it takes, but it's what it's going to give you what matters. So anyway, thank you so much, Suzanne. I really, really appreciate. I hope to see you again here so we can see how you are you're doing in your STEM, in your electric engineering, and what you're going to become. I really appreciate, and looking forward to our work. We have work to do, right?
Yes, definitely. Again, thank you so much for having me. I hope that all the young girls out there can be inspired. I'm really all for girls pursuing STEM. We can all do it. We can all support each other. So don't give up, and stay confident.
All right. No, thank you so much, Suzanne. I really do appreciate.
Thank you.
So we are going to bring in Mubanga Bwalia. Mubanga, thank you so much for having you. I really do appreciate. I know you are busy doing so many things. Maybe you can share with us. But first, I would like you to introduce yourself. I think you are muted, Mubanga. We can't hear you. Yes.
Are you able to pick me?
Yes, now.
Okay. Are you able to pick me?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor really to be on this platform to, discuss issues pertaining to STEM. My name is Mubanga Bwalia. So
I think your volume is low. If you can maybe tune it up, or maybe if you remove the ear plug, try everything, because we can't really hear you.
Is that better?
Yes, much better.
Is that okay? Okay, yeah. So I'm a radiographer by profession. I've been a radiographer for I've been a radiographer for 11 years. Radiography is a science-based profession. It's into STEM. In fact, the foundation of radiography is STEM, technology, mathematics and science. Yeah, so that's me.
Wow. Thank you. So you guys, just to tell you, Mubanga is my brother, is a twin brother. You might see another one that looks like this, but they are unique in everything that they do. So Mubanga, can you tell me, how did this STEM career of being a radiographer start? How did it spark? Is it when you were young or when you grew up? So I know you're my brother, but I need to hear this. How did that interest come?
Okay, thank you so much. Unlike I was listening to Suzanne, was talking about issue of calculus, at college and trying to, mathematics. Yes. For me, when I was young, I really wanted to be in healthcare. I just wanted to work in a hospital and make a big change. So even when I decided to do radiography, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. So when I went to college, coming from a background where you do O-level mathematics and the O-level, science and so on and so forth, when I went to college and found calculus, I said, wow, this is not really what I was expecting, and I didn't think I was up for the challenge,
Yes.
It was a bit hard when you are coming from an O-level background,
Yes.
But I told myself that this is what I want to do. And if others have managed to go through and, go higher and higher, then I'm able to do it, and I pushed myself and I just got to, start enjoying the mathematics, the physics, and understanding the way things work. And really, it really helped me to go forward and just do the whole program. And I really appreciate it in the end. So for me, it was not really an easy process, as others would say, this issue where we talk of that you need someone to encourage you, it was not there. And I think even for most people, it's like that. So it's about self-determination. If you want something good in life, you really have to go for it and fight for it. And even if people tell you this is hard, you can't manage, you just have to go, for it. And really, that's what I did.
Wow, that's very interesting, really. And you know what? I've seen you, you're my brother, and I've seen you how you have navigated your STEM, being a radiographer, and how much drive you have. So what would you say are some of the challenges that you would say you have in navigating your STEM?
As I said earlier on, I think for me, there was inadequate support. Like growing up, when you want to pursue STEM, there should be a system to encourage whether boys or young girls to remain in STEM, Like I said, coming from a background of O-level mathematics and, where you're doing sciences, not necessarily pure sciences and mathematics, there should be a system where generally there should be a larger, encouragement to go into STEM, and there should be programs that are created just to encourage the young to, aspire for, such programs. And we are currently seeing some of those programs coming up nowadays, where you have STEM schools, even in rural parts of Zambia and so on. So I think things are beginning to change. And I think that is going in the right direction, because we'll definitely see development even in our country. And we'll see more better things ahead.
Okay. No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So I'll give you like 1 minute or so. What would you say to a young girl growing up concerning science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, pursuing these careers?
Okay. Thank you so much. Science is, it gives answers to most of the challenges that we are facing in this world. And venturing into STEM in the initial stage will not appear to be something that you manage. But I tell you, everything that is good in life is difficult sometimes to attain. And therefore, you should just hold on and just, continue fighting the fight, and things will become clear as you continue to go on. People will discourage you to say, no, this mathematics, this calculus, this what, you're not going to manage. But I tell you, a lot of people have managed, those people that are engineers, they are doctors, they are radiographers, they are whatsoever. It was not easy. And it's all about mathematics, technology, science, and so on and so forth. So you can do it. You can do it just the same way everyone else has done it. So my encouragement is just that let all the girls that want to go into science and technology and all that, just go into it. Just go into it, and you see that in the long run, as you strive to fight and to continue going each day, take it each day as it comes, and you find that you manage and you emerge victorious.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mubanga. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring in Barney. Barney is an engineer in 3D printing. And yes. Hi, Barney. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so happy to have you. I really do appreciate you to come. I know you're very busy, and you took time to come and spend some time here, and my viewers are very honored to have you. So Barney, I know we have very common experiences, me and you. we did research together, but you were doing in another, area, or I was also doing in another area. And when we were in the class in that research, we had certain commonalities because we were also much older compared to the students who were there, me and you. So we used to chat a lot and just laugh. So yeah, so you guys, Bernie is a very good friend of mine as well. So would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kristen. It's really an honor for me to be here. My name is Benny. I studied for my master's degree. I studied manufacturing systems engineering, but primarily my interest was in additive manufacturing. In my background for my bachelor is in architecture. I did a Bachelor of Architecture, and my associate's degree is also in architecture. I currently work as a project manager at an architecture firm, but my personal interest is primarily additive manufacturing, and specifically as it relates to buildings. And recently we've been seeing trends in additive manufacturing in construction, and how it changes the way designers design buildings nowadays because of these new technologies in the way buildings are built. I think that's it.
Wow, thank you so much, Brandy. So I would like to see, how did you start your STEM? If you can share with my viewers, how did it start? Is it when you were young, or is it when you're older? How did your STEM start?
I think for me, it was just the curiosity that I had that the field of design couldn't satisfy.
Correct.
It's great to be in a design environment, be a designer, and just create beautiful things. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that whatever we create, it just works, functionality. And that is not to say that designers don't necessarily think about those things. We do, but I wanted a little more than that. I had an idea that a house, a building, because I was trained to design buildings. So
Yes.
my idea was that a building could be treated as a product, and
Yes.
we are currently seeing the manufacturing processes that are generally speaking meant for manufacturing of uh, manufacturing of products like small parts are being used in the building industry to print
Yes.
buildings. So that clicked my that was just an idea that I wanted to do a master's in engineering because of its technicality, and I enjoy being in a technical environment. So, and I did look up some schools, and I found that manufacturing systems engineering seems to be what I'm interested in because it deals with the way products are made, are
Yes.
manufactured, and the product really, it just depends on us as individuals to define what the product is. But I think that's how I started, and I really enjoyed those 2 years of graduate school. It was where I learned a lot. I feel like that the engineering school made me a better designer because now I can think holistically and bring both fields together. Yeah.
Wow. So again, guys, I was in the same research with Barney. He was working on 3D printing, and so I would like him to maybe just give us a glimpse of what is 3D printing. If you may just explain in few simple terms. He's an expert in 3D printing, guys. As to the extent of printing almost cells. I used to be so amazed every time he shows me, Kirsten, look at this. I'm like, okay, man. So what is 3D printing?
Yeah, I thank you, but I don't think I'm an expert in anything. I'm just someone who is interested in this technology. But yeah, for sure. So basically, 3D printing is printing an object layer by layer. So you're looking at a solid object, but it's printed in a layer by layer. So the way it's done, it usually starts with a 3D CAD model. There are several 3D modeling software out there. If your viewers are students, there are many free versions of these softwares available.
Yes.
They can just sign in and use and learn the software. So it starts from there. You have an idea, and you basically model that idea, and it becomes a 3D model. Then that model will have to be transferred to a different file format so that the slicer, or the next step, could be achieved. So
Yes.
you after the model is done, you send it to a uh, uh, you save it as a what we call STL file,
Yes.
which and then it goes to a slicer. Basically, the way these objects are printed is that once you have a solid model and you send it to a slicer, it is a program that slices. Imagine an apple, you slice it in tiny slices. That's how 3D printing works. And then it uses different technologies to print each one of those layers
Yes.
or slices. So that's basically how 3D printing works in general. But there are many different technologies that use different mechanisms to basically achieve this process.
Yes.
We have 3D printers that use liquids like resin, photocurable resins. We have what we call FDM, which is fused deposition modeling. It uses plastic, and
Yes.
plastic basically goes to a hot end, and it
Yes.
just melts it. And when the machine runs, it just extrudes that melted plastic and builds the object layer by layer. We also have powder-based 3D printers. Those are capable of printing polymers, metal, and all kinds of stuff. And the project that you mentioned, the research project, we had it printed out of titanium. Uh, we used a metal 3D printing technology. So it's a very exciting field. We see it in, say, aerospace. We see it in construction nowadays. We see it in um, consumer products, regardless of their materiality. They just it seems like a better, more efficient manufacturing process, um, compared to CNC machining or subtractive additive manufacturing or subtractive manufacturing.
That is interesting. Guys, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. These are scientists, engineers, and feel free to ask any questions. Oh my God, thank you so much, Bernie. So, what would you say to a boy growing up or a girl growing up? My passion is to encourage girls, boys to enter into this career. I have so many reasons why they should enter into this career, but what would you say to a boy or a girl, Bernie, growing up?
Yeah, I would say if you're interested in solving a problem, if you're interested in any sort of science, math, if it's something that excites you whenever you think about it, I think you should do it. Science, engineering, mathematics, they're not necessarily hard subjects, or necessarily difficult to learn. It just requires a little more work. And if you're interested in them, if you have a passion for it, just go for it and do it. And don't let the mathematics keep you away from achieving your goals, because I feel like science and engineering is the best way one can make an impact. So if you study engineering, and later on you just realize that there is a problem that your skills can solve, that how great is that? It's amazing to see. There are so many engineers that are making impact. There is this lady. He graduated with a mechanical engineering degree that I really admire her. She started a company just making toys for girls, encouraging them to pursue STEM by just giving them, the toys that they would need.
Yes.
So that was one way that she solved the problem. So I think I would say just go for it, do it, and find help, find like-minded people. If you're in school, find counselors that can guide you through whatever you're trying to achieve, and just do it. It's not difficult. It requires a little more work on your end, but it's doable. A lot of people have done it, and it's just and it's rewarding. It's very rewarding to be an engineer, to be a scientist.
It's very rewarding, and tell them that it's very lucrative, so they know that it's a good career.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Barney. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate. I know you're very busy, but please, I would love to have you again on my show. I know you're busy, but I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. So the next person we are going to have is Nkole Bwalia. So hi Nkole Bwalia. Thank you so much for having you here. We really do appreciate. You guys are busy there. So before I say anything, so Nkole, would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Nkole Bwalia, and the previous speaker, Mr. Mwanga, is actually my twin brother.
Yes.
I'm basically a radiographer. I work in the health sector, and in the health sector, we are called technologists. So basically, we are using science to, I think, let me pick a word that Barney used. We solve problems. So basically, if you fall down and you hurt yourself and your leg is broken, our job is to tell you where it's broken. And if we can tell the doctor where it's broken, then the doctor can treat you. So basically, we are using science to solve some of the world's problems. I mean, that's just great.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the fact of solving problems. I really do love it. Go ahead.
Yes. So in a nutshell, that's who I am, a radiographer. I solve people's problems. So we use science. We use what we call radiation. So we use radiation to help us study the anatomy of the human body, not just the human body, use radiation to study animals and everything. So we use radiation to find answers to what problems are going on in a human's body. And then we also use the same radiation actually to treat some of these conditions. And in therapeutic radiography, we burn out these cells that are just growing to greater length, and we just burn them with radiation so that we can treat some of the problems. So it's quite a lot, but in a nutshell, that's what it is. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. And most people think of STEM in, they may not really understand what STEM is, but STEM is so broad and such that in the next future, there is nothing that is not going to have STEM embedded in it. And that's why we need people to just bury themselves into science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Why? In future, there will be nothing, literally nothing that's not going to involve science, technology, engineering, mathematics. No, thank you so much, Nkole. So my other question is, I know you're my brother, you're a twin one, but how did this radiograph STEM start? When did it spark? Is it when you were older, or how did you get an interest to be in STEM?
Crazy story, actually. Science has always been part of my life, starting in junior secondary school, primary school, and secondary school. But I should say that as we finished our junior secondary school, science started making sense, because now you're talking about what water is, you're talking about how water, the elements of water, hydrogen, oxygen. You're wondering, what is that, you know? And then moving further, going into secondary school, you know, they complement what we studied in junior secondary school. Then reaching college, it just made sense, because now we're talking about, you know, science in its totality and how we can use it to better people's lives. So I should say in the late secondary school.
Sorry, Nkole, sorry not to cut you short, but there's an interesting comment below. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
Can you just laugh with this comment? It's very interesting. Yeah. Actually, Victor, these are my brothers. I don't understand how they went into STEM, both of them, and maybe they'll be able to explain that. Okay, I'll go ahead, Nkole. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. So it made sense actually in college, as my brother and I actually studied radiography. We were in the same class, by the way, same class of 2005. So it made sense in college, because now we're understanding how we can use science to help doctors figure out the problems that a patient has. So it all made sense as we went into college. Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting. So I also want you to say, what would you say to a young girl coming up? I know I always work with your daughter, Malaika. Malaika is very popular. My viewers know her a lot. You guys, if you have not watched Malaika, please go on my videos and watch Malaika. She is amazing. So Nkole, what would you say to viewers, little girls, or mothers out there? What would you say? How would you encourage them to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
What I can say is that science is around us. Science is what we are, who we are, and what we do. So there's nothing you can do without science, basically. The food you're eating, they use science to grow it. The light that we are in right now is all science. And so you really can't escape science. Either way, if you want to become I don't know what form of education that doesn't have science, everything has got science in it. So one just has to have, you know, the self-determination, as my brother said, that you can do it. It's scary that you're going to do calculus at some point, physics and chemistry, but it only makes it easier for you to understand everything around you. And at the end of the day, the more you do it, the more you study it, you become good at it, you become what they're calling a technologist. You're using the word a technologist. A technologist is just somebody who's good at what he does. It doesn't really matter what they do, but they are good at what they do. At the end of the day, that is backed by science. Yes.
Wow. No, thank you so much, Nkole Bwalia. We really do appreciate. And thank you, Mubanga. These guys are twins. Hope you guys watched Mubanga live. And, you know, thank you so much. So my next viewer is Kennedy Magala. Hello, Kennedy Magala. I'm not sure if you can hear me. You are the next. And whilst we're waiting for you, we'll keep talking with the Nkole. So Nkole, wow, that's really interesting what you just shared with us. Okay, Kennedy Magala is here. So I will let him in. Hi, Mr. Magaba. Thank you so much for coming again. You guys, Mr. Magaba was there last show, and oh my God, he's a physicist. And today, I'm sure he's going to share with us very interesting, you know, topics. But first, maybe if you can just briefly introduce yourself. I know you did from last time, but yes, if you can just introduce yourself, Mr. Magaba. Okay, he paused, maybe. Okay, so let's wait for him a little bit. So guys, please leave a comment, ask questions. You know, it's very interesting. Again, this is a STEM hangout where we are, you know, scientists, engineers are actually sharing their STEM story, how it started, and you know what else they are doing. This is very encouraging for young girls trying to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So yes, so please, if you have questions, comment, please feel free to go ahead and do that. And if you're coming here for the first time, please subscribe to this channel and so that you can hear more stuff coming up. We have so many things for you. So let's try again to see if Kenneth can come in. Hi, Mr. Magawa again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's just unfortunate. I'm having intermittent network here. The signal doesn't seem to be perfect. So you will forgive me. I'll be breaking because of the signal.
Okay. So you can go ahead, please, if you can introduce yourself.
Okay. Kenneth Magawa from Kitwe, Copperbelt, Zambia. I'm in Ganaton. I'm sure Mr. Muvanga and the team there, they know Ganaton well. Yeah. So I think that's the brief introduction because I did introduce myself last time.
Yes. So I have very good question because we are a physicist. I'm so intrigued. Sometimes mostly we are all engineers, right? I have my specialty. You also have your specialty, but sometimes we get so mesmerized by other people's specialty. So you're a physicist, and I just wanted to know if you can tell us a little bit about a nuclear power plant and why Africa or maybe some countries may not necessarily be able to do it. Why do you think that? So guys, I'm asking him this question because he's very passionate about this topic. So maybe if we can hear a little bit from you.
Okay. Yeah, the signal is still betraying me. I didn't get the question.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I was just asking. I said, I know you're very passionate about nuclear power plant, things like that. So I wanted to know, would Africa be able to tap their hands in this field and use this energy?
Yes, we can. Now, maybe the only challenge is that we may need the only challenge we may need security, because we'll be dealing with uranium. Uranium is a radioactive material, which emits radiation. Part of it is what Mr. Mwanga uses. Part of it is what Mr. Mwanga uses in radiography there.
Yes.
So this requires a lot of security, because if we don't have security, it might go into the hands of terrorists and use it to harm others. So a nuclear power plant for electricity, to produce electricity, it is possible. Now, eventually, if that technology goes it advances further, we may be tempted to produce nuclear weapons. I'm sure that's where superpowers, they are very sensitive. They're very much sensitive.
They'll be like, not too so much not so fast.
I can get
go
you.
Ahead, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I was saying, so we can, it's possible to have a nuclear power plant. Now, it's being discouraged at the moment because we want to preserve our Earth.
Yes.
We really want to preserve our Earth. A nuclear power plant means we will emit radiation, and that becomes harmful to the environment.
Yes.
It becomes harmful to the environment. So renewable energy from fossil fuels and renewable, which is harmless to the environment, and also which is also harmless to a human being.
Correct.
So no wonder we are much focusing on that, and no wonder even diverted from doing nuclear physics. I decided to go to solar energy engineering because I'm also of the passion of preserving the planet Earth.
Yes. And now that you've come to solar energy, can you also explain in simple terms what is solar energy? If we have viewers who are not conversant with it, what is solar energy and how possible is it to have solar energy?
Okay, solar energy It's the energy which comes from the sun. In other words, we convert light energy into electric energy. So light comes from the sun. I'm sure you've seen solar panels. I'm not here. I cannot really discuss much the physics of semiconductors, which is in the solar panels. That is a graduate level program, but I will just put it in simple terms.
And also to explain a little bit, is it easy to make solar panels? Because it looks like it's very easy, but you will answer that question later. But go ahead. Sorry for jumping in.
Yeah. So what I'm just trying to do is to briefly summarize what we want, the energy which we get from the sun.
Yes.
The whole energy, so the energy we get from the sun is the one which is converted to electricity. So what am I talking about? Just as I mentioned earlier on, is that the sun will give us light.
Correct.
Now that light is the one which is directed on our solar panels. I'm sure everyone has seen the solar panel. So within the solar panels there, so that's why there is now the deep physics there. So that's why I'm moving. I wanted just to jump through there, but so inside the solar panel, that's where the actual physics takes place there now. So now we have the light activating electrons there in the panel. Those electrons, they are charged. As they charge, they cross through the PN junction. So the PN junction, those are doing electronics. There is electronics there in the solar panel which is taking place. So in that process, then there is current. There is current which is generated. So when current is generated, so that current which is generated is the one now which we use now as electricity.
Wow. I hope my viewers are enjoying this. Yes.
Yes. I'm trying to limit myself. I'm trying to limit myself, not going into detail of the yes, I'm trying to limit myself not to go into detail of the physics, the physics of semiconductors, which is inside the solar panel. But if there was if the audience says I have to go in detail, I can go in detail. But I'm sure last time you did say that no, don't go in detail, but I should just be on the surface.
Yes, there will be time when we can go in details to prepare our audience that, you know what, let's prepare our mind so we can go in details. No, we really do. We really do. Thank you so much. Yes, go ahead.
So I wanted to answer that question. There is a question: can our local universities such as CBU and the University of Zambia provide renewable energy? So that's the question. Me, I'm a former student of Mkoa University. So Mkoa University, I did Bachelor of Science / Education. So Bachelor of Science / Education in Physics and Mathematics. So at the third and fourth year, that's why I got interested in solar energy engineering. So I've been doing that research with Delft University of Technology from Holland. So I was funded to do that on distance learning. So I've been researching on that with Delft University of Technology from Holland. So from Bachelor of Science in Physics, so I thought, let me do a research in solar energy. So I was privileged being funded by Delft University of Technology from Holland. And that is why I completed my micromaster in solar energy engineering. So what is there is the physics of renewable, what is in the solar panel is the physics of renewable energy, the physics of semiconductors. And that is maybe the cheapest way, the summary I can just give.
Wow, wow. And then there's one more question from Perry. He's saying, how is Zambia doing on solar energy?
Okay, so at the moment I was with one of the colleagues. Is lecturing in one of the trade schools. It should be either Nortec or this one. So they have been taught to introduce renewable energy. So I was helping him to design I was helping to design the course outline and how we can be able to prepare the material with them. Not only that, we are coming up a little bit. We are coming up now, because like at the moment myself, I'm drafting newsletters. One, I'll send it to the TAVETA, who are in charge in these trade schools. So I'm drafting newsletters. These newsletters is like a small manuscript about how those who are doing electrical installation for solar panels, they can be able to preserve the energy, not it to go to waste. So I've finished one newsletter. I'm likely to send it to one to Mkoa University, the other one to TAVETA, the other one to EIZ Engineering Institution of Zambia. I'm doing it I'm not charging. I'm just doing it for the sake of the country. I want just to contribute something to my country. So I've finished one newsletter. So I continue to do this not until I feel like I've contributed something to our trade schools as well as to our universities.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for that question. So we really do appreciate, and I think this information and just the STEM, information, it's so vital, and we will still need to hear more of what you're doing. I think my viewers will still want to hear more. So come again, you guys. Mr. Magaba is here to stay. So make sure you can come and hear more from him. So you go ahead, Mr. Magaba.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So what the other thing is, I'm about to finish designing my website. So my website will contain almost all the data in renewable energy physics, as well as the electrical installation. So I'm sure your viewers will have access to the website, so that they'll have at least they can have access to.
You will come and share it here, Mr.
Yes.
Magaba.
So I'm just. Yes. So I'm just remaining with some few steps in completing my website. So that is where I want also to direct anyone who would be interested to be reading my newsletters. To me, if someone reads something from what I've researched and discovered, and is able to make good decision from there, then I get satisfied with that. Even if, to me, that's the benefit I'm interested in. So very soon, before maybe the end of this month, I would have finished designing my website. And then you will have access to it, and then they will have access to it.
Wow. You hear that for yourselves, guys. So get ready to read more and just to see how it's going to be going. So get ready and you'll be able to see that. So thank you so much, Mr. Magaba. I really do appreciate. Hope to see you again. And now we are going to bring in Francine Mulenga, and also Christian, if you can get ready, we'll have you soon. So let's bring in Francine Mulenga. Hi, Francine. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I really do appreciate. I know you're a very busy person, but thank you so much for coming here. And you look great.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here, and it's so interesting.
I'm so excited to see you. This is my sister, guys. She's going to tell you what she does. So I'd like you to introduce yourself.
My name is Francine. I work in the UK National Health Service as a consultant radiographer. So you had two speakers talking about radiography. That is my background. Initially trained as a radiographer, and I've now gone into advanced practice. And so I'm specialized in breast care. And my key role as an expert professional is to provide breast imaging advice to breast surgeons and clinicians, so contributing to improved outcomes for patients. So, yeah, very interesting.
Wow. And Francine, you just got to a position of a director as well. So that's very interesting. Congratulations how you're pushing STEM you know, we are so proud of you. And so I just want to also mention that I know you're my sister, but I would like you to share with my viewers, how did this STEM career start? When did it spark that you got interested into science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? Could you just share with my viewers?
Yeah. I mean, most speakers here have talked about when they were young and what they were interested in. Is quite similar, actually. So always intrigued and interested in solving problems, whether it was with friends in the playground or with my family. So I was always curious about how the human body works, and I think that's what took me into anatomy and physiology, because of the connection between everything. And so learning those connections and how the body works, I think, led me to do diagnostic radiography. But when I came over to the UK, I went into breast services. So it's still radiography, but specializing in breast care. And so I learned to do breast clinical examinations. I learned to do breast ultrasound. I learned to do interventional techniques, and also interpreting images about breast X-ray. So in other words, you could say a baby doctor. So it's all the things that the doctors do, but a radiographer goes to learn and do, because they do encourage advanced practice here and raw extension. And what it means now is that not only violent about radiography and mammography, which is breast care, I now hold my own clinics and actually have got you are assigned patients, and they actually, they see me first. So from consultation to checking what is going on with their breast when they have got complaints. If I'm worried about something, I examine the breast and check with ultrasound. If worried, take a tissue sample and send it to pathologist to have a look. And if anything is concerning there, I'll then guide the breast surgeons and say, look, this is where you're going, this is how deep the lesion is, so you can approach it in a certain way and take it out. So in surgery, the breast surgeons are well informed.
Wow, that is loaded. And very interesting, very interesting. Wow, that's really interesting. So Francine, so how has been your journey? For example, how difficult has been your journey? Because someone looking at you out there, especially young ones, kids, what would you say your journey from, maybe high school, college, things like that? How did you navigate that STEM career? And what really drove you? Did you know you were going to get to the place where you are? So mostly kids, when they're growing up, they would love to hear that even other scientists aspiring to be where you are. So could you just maybe share with my viewers that path?
So how I navigated through, it's a mixture of things, actually. So partly being interested in sciences, but actually I was interested in medicine, so to speak.
Yes.
But actually what really happened was, after I finished my secondary school, I bumped into one of my secondary school teachers, and I still remember him to date. And in some way, although I was interested in science, I would think that he actually sort of led me to what I do now.
Yes.
Because when we bumped into each other, he talked about radiography. It's something I never even knew about. I actually thought radiography is to do with radios. No, as previous speakers alluded to, and they are my brothers, by the way, they're twins, it's looking into people's bodies, basically. So I went into that with his support and his encouragement. I always think of him. Then obviously trained in Zambia at Evelyn Horn College, did radiography there, and then moved on to different parts of the world. Within Africa, went to Botswana, worked there, and then obviously came over to England, where raw extension is really encouraged. So in terms of, did you just talk about, your question, was it about challenges or how I...
Yes, your challenges.
Yes. I mean, the first thing you'd imagine is you think because you've done radiography, you don't have to think that you've ended there. You know, it's about being
tell them
passionate
yes.
about your interest, and then that you can go further. And sometimes because of what we've done, you keep thinking, no, I think I can't be somebody else. But actually with raw extension, you find that there's no limit to what you can do. We all enter STEM at different angles and at different levels. And
Yes.
in the end, you all do the same thing. What is important is providing the best care to patients, and it can come from different angles. If we were all waiting for just doctors to do something or just nurses to do something, the world will be short-staffed. But now you've got everyone doing the same thing for the interest of the patient. And so I'm in this incredible profession, and what I do puts me in a position to support or advocate for people to go into this and learn more, basically. So really, really interesting.
Wow. That's so interesting. Thank you so much, Francine. And what would you say to a girl boys growing? What would you say to them? And the other thing is, guys, make sure you watch Francine engaging Malaika again, one of my STEM aspirants that I work with. Francine engaged Malaika. It was very interesting because she asked how what are human beings made of, and Francine was explaining. You should see how Malaika was really mesmerized. It's a very good video. So what would you tell kids growing up, boys growing up, Francine? What would you tell them? If you look back where you've come from, and my viewers are coming from different backgrounds. So what would you tell a girl, growing up?
What I can say is your education is the cornerstone of your future. So keep going to school, keep trying and keep learning, keep engaging in what you are interested in. You are not done learning just because you've reached secondary school. You're not done learning just because you've had a diploma or degree. You need to continue, engage and learn more and be open to growth. It may not happen immediately, but there's always an opportunity, there's always potential to really thrive after. So keep going.
Wow. Thank you so much, Francine. Thank you for having you here. We really, really do appreciate, and hope we can see you again to learn so much from you and everybody of my guests. So our next guest is Christian Mariso. Christian, come in if you can get ready. Hi, Christian. Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to have you finally. You guys, Christian, I've worked with Christian when he was in is it first year, Christian?
It was, I think, second year.
Yes. Christian is a mechanical engineer. So he will introduce himself. I've worked with him in research. He is amazing. He has tutored my son before, and oh my God, he's just amazing. I'm so excited to have you. So would you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do?
Well, thank you for hosting me, Kirsten. I'm glad to be here and part of this amazing platform. So my name is Christian Mariscal. I have a bachelor's from Cal State University Northridge in mechanical engineering. Currently, I'm working in manufacturing engineering for an aerospace company. We create a lot of parts for commercial airlines and also for these defense industries. So we supply them with a lot of parts. And as Kirsten was stating, we did research together for I think maybe 2 years.
Yes.
It was really a great experience. So our research revolved around what a previous host was saying. It's additive manufacturing, 3D printing. So that's what our research involved in. But now my job revolves around creating, metal parts using your traditional methods. If anybody's familiar, your CNC, your 3-axis, 4-axis, and 5-axis. but yeah, that's me. That's my little short story.
Wow. And you guys, I just want to say, I know he's not going to say it here. Christian is very young. He completed his bachelor's last year, Christian, right?
No, I actually completed my bachelor's this May. I just
This
graduated.
May.
Yes.
He is
2 months
very
ago.
young, you guys, very young age. Christian, how did your STEM start? How did it spark?
So so I come from I'm from Los Angeles, California. Predominantly, or my part of my hometown is predominantly Hispanic, Latino background. So yeah, I guess with that, my first, I guess, I was really my first, I guess, when I really was intrigued by science would be my 10th grade in high school. It was my math teacher. I really enjoyed that math class. I think he made it really enjoyable. And yeah, I always during that class, I was always solving these problems pretty quickly, and I was actually proud of myself for that. I was solving them. It was connecting all these concepts. It was algebra at the time. It was just connecting super quickly. But yeah, so that was the first introduction to where I was really okay. I have like an affinity for the mathematics. So from then on, going to my senior year of high school, I joined a robotics elective course, and that class wasn't. It was an introduction to robotics and introduction to programming. We were given a Legos set. The components were, you just had to plug them in together, but you did have a program. It was a really mainstream program, so it was like blocks. So you would tell the robot to do this. You plug in the blocks, and you had to connect it. It had a nice logic to it, super intuitive. But me and my friend, we actually we went to competition in our school. We made a little robot that we would make a course, a track. It was just like a black line. It was like a racetrack. A robot would just stay within that line. It would follow that line all the way around. So, and we won a medal for that in our little competition. It was nice. It was super interesting. After that, I was like, all right, I definitely want to do something with engineering, something with science related. And yeah, by senior year, I had to start applying for college. And now I had aside from applying for college, what major did I want to be in? And I did a little bit of research. From all the engineering disciplines, I came across mechanical engineering because I think it's definitely the broadest engineering discipline that at least CSUN offers. You touch every other discipline and it connects beautifully. And now that I finished my bachelor's, you appreciate that mechanical engineering, how it combines all the other ones into a single discipline. So yeah, it's a broad engineering discipline, but it's super interesting. And yeah, that's how I started my engineering path.
Wow. Thank you so much for that explanation. So what would you say, who were your role models?
Yeah, so with this, so now going back to my hometown, a lot of my community, they don't really advocate like, oh, you should become an engineer or you should you should continue your school. You always hear, oh, just try to do your best, and if whatever it's going to happen is going to happen. So it was a little bit on my shoulders to take that initiative and go above and beyond what my community advocates for. So in that respect, I never knew anybody actually who was an engineer or actually had a diploma or bachelor's. All the people I knew only had a high school diploma. And there's nothing bad about that. It's just my hometown. That's just how it is. So with the role model, I never had somebody who I always looked up to. But coming to college, there were professors who I was like, wow, like they're super knowledgeable about the profession, and they're charismatic, they're compassionate, they enjoy teaching. And it's these professors who really I connected with. It's always like, wow, hopefully someday I could connect to other people just as they're connecting with me. I'm able to share my knowledge with these people. I'm able to enlighten them, and definitely bring them or show them a different perspective of engineering, that it's not just difficult. It's once you reach a certain point, you're able to reflect back and just understand how powerful knowing engineering is, and you're able just to view the world differently. You know, it's definitely a beautiful discipline. And
Wow.
so yeah, I guess just to summarize, you know, I never had a single role model, but I did come across other professors and other engineers who are like, wow, these people, I hopefully one day I could sort of be like them.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wow. You guys, Christian, very smart. I've worked with him in research. When he just came in second year, I think I was in my last year, and I worked with him on the same team for the research. Amazing, amazing person. And I'm just so glad to have him here. So, Christian, what would you say to a young boy growing out there? And you know, in United States, we have privileges that other countries don't have. Resources, name it. So, what would you say to a girl, a boy growing up out there?
Yeah.
That would I want to aspire, knowing the resources that you and me have had. What would you say to him?
You know, I think to start off right now, maybe if you haven't, maybe right now they're not in the position to know what engineering truly is, but knowing, or from our perspective now, we could tell you once you start learning engineering and get through or past that, I guess fighting through that resistance. Because again, like they were saying, previous other people who were speaking, they were talking about calculus and physics and chemistry. You know, no one here has told you that it's easy, because it isn't, right? But it's going to be always interesting. You're gonna have a passion for it. It's once you finish these courses and get to know more about the world, it's going to be extremely satisfying looking back, and you're going to have a story. Like we're sharing our story, you too are going to have your own story. And all these stories are going to come with up and downs, but at the end of the day, you're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to be in a place in society where you're just going to be happy. You know, you're going to be like, wow, I achieved this, and now I'm in a position to tell my story to other people like me. And so what I would tell you is, just go for it. You know, right now we don't know what the future holds, but right now you're able to take action. You know, challenges are going to come. You're gonna overcome these challenges. But yeah, that's there's always, just take that first step. It's always about taking that first step. It's just one day at a time, and eventually you'll reflect and you'll see like, wow, I made it. You know, now it's my turn to help others.
I don't believe to see that you've graduated already. It's interesting. And you're working. Oh my God. You know, I'm just so proud of you, Christian, and everything. And I know you are up for some big gigs, and go get your gold. Thank you so much, and I hope you can come back. Would love to see how your life goes on. My viewers would love to see that we are here to encourage girls, boys, pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And girls out there, boys out there, they need to hear this. Most engineers and scientists, they don't talk about their stories, and it used to be very scary for girls, for young boys growing up, because they're like, oh, what is this thing they are doing? And when it's literally, you know, it's something that is doable. Thank you, Christian.
Absolutely.
My next guest is going to be Patrick. Patrick, thank you so much for hanging in there. I really appreciate Patrick from Zambia. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening. Can you get me?
Yes. Patrick, it's good evening for you. Good morning for us.
Yes. Oh, yes. How are you? How are you doing?
I think, how are you? I'm so happy to have you, Patrick. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Please go ahead. Yeah, he's hanging out a little bit. So let's see if we can wait for him so he can come back. So guys, I just want to say thank you always for coming back to this channel to hear our stories. These stories need to be told. Why? Because there are girls, boys out there who don't even know what it is. I went through it. I was nervous, during my career, because I never saw anyone who looks like me, someone who has gone through this career. And it's very difficult for kids and young people out there to navigate STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But when they see someone who looks like them, someone who is in the field, it gives them a very good perspective that they can as well pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we are still waiting for Patrick to come in. He's been waiting for this, so let's see if we can bring him in. Hi, Patrick. Patrick, you're alive. You're alive. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I think there was a problem with the network.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, it's a privilege for me to be on the show. I'm so happy. I hope everyone's happy as well.
Yes.
I know it's a bit hard to get people together, especially with the COVID and
yes, we keep losing him. Hopefully he can come back, guys. Yes, again, if you guys
can you
have
get me?
any, oh yes, we can get you. Go ahead,
can
Patrick.
you get me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh yes,
Loud and clear.
I was saying it's very good that I know it's a bit hard to bring people together despite the COVID and what's going on in the world, but it's a privilege and honor to be here. Yes.
Yes.
So my name is Patrick Musonda, and I'm from Zambia. My hometown is in Lusaka, but currently I'm on the Copper Belt.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a third year student at the Copper Belt University, and
Yes. So Patrick is zooming in and out, guys. If you have any questions, please continue. You can ask questions, you can comment. Feel free to, to ask anything. Again, we are here to encourage girls pursue STEM and also listen to scientists, engineers, how they are navigating their STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and also to share their stories so that we can hear how they've been, pursuing their STEM. Why? This gives us a good understanding, especially for kids, how STEM is. Is it scary? The reason why we're doing this, why I'm encouraging girls to pursue STEM is in future, we're going to need a lot of scientists, a lot of engineers. So how are we going to satisfy the workforce as we go on in the near future? So the only thing is to tap in untapped potential. It's to encourage girls pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and also boys out there to encourage them to, give them that opportunity that they can as well do pursue science and technology. Yes, you're alive, Patrick. I'm not letting you off the hook.
Okay.
There you go. Continue.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so I'm a third year student at the Copper Belt University.
Yes.
And I'm pursuing my bachelor's in electromechanical engineering, which is basically a combination of electrical and mechanical engineering combined together.
Yes.
So we deal a lot with electromechanical.
Wow, we need to hear what electromechanical engineers do, guys. We need to hear that. Last time we heard a lot about the physicists. Hear what electromechanical engineers do, guys. Yeah, so we're having a hard time with Patrick. So I guess, he is having a hard time. Yes, so let me just say, so it's very interesting to hear from different people, different engineers. So I'll try to bring as many engineers on on this show, so we can hear from them. So if you have any idea who you want to, what type of engineers we can bring, what type of scientists we can bring, please leave a comment. Let me know. I'll bring them for you guys. And those from Zambia, last time there was Sela Kapesa. I'm not sure if you know her. Very, very interesting engineer from Zambia also came. So any other country, please, we are here together, the whole world, we are here so we can educate ourselves how we're going to maneuver this as we go on. So again, let's see if we can bring him. Patrick, go ahead.
Okay, yes. So like electromechanical engineering, like I said, it's a combination of both electrical and mechanical engineering. So you get to have both of these majors combined, and you deal a lot with my electromechanical machinery, electromechanical equipment, all the stuff that involves mechanics and electronics and electrical stuff. They are all brought into one body and one thing.
Wow.
Yes.
So Patrick, how did you start STEM? How did you start it by yourself, or were you encouraged by someone? How did you pursue how did you start your STEM? How did it spark? So again, we keep losing Patrick. He has an interesting story, and internet is, he's fighting with the internet. So let's see if he's going to come back again. Yes. So as I was saying, guys, if you have any type of engineering you want me to bring on this show, please let me know so we can come and hear their views, how they're navigating it, what they are doing, things like that. It's very good for our girls, boys, that they hear that, actually for mothers, because I believe mothers, guardians, uncles, aunties have got a greater impact in encouraging girls, boys to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And that's why we are here, is so that we can hear this information, we can, understand it, and we can share it with our kids. We can share it with our nieces. We can share it with our students, if we don't have access to any kids. And if most of you can watch some of my videos where I share about how to create an environment in your home to encourage your kids to pursue science, technology, and engineering and mathematics. And also how you can encourage your kids outside the environment, outside the house. So go ahead, Patrick.
Okay, yes, I heard your previous question. My STEM career, it started when I was a kid. I remember on the holidays when we closed school, in the backyard, I would play a lot with my toys, and I would also start doing some science projects. I remember my first project was with the microscope and how the rays are brought together and how you can start a flame.
Really?
And also how you can make a rainbow.
Yes. Wow. That's so interesting. So I think it's very important for kids to parents to spark them, to provide that environment where they can see things, where they can get exposed to very interesting things, because that's most stories that I've seen on all the engineers and scientists, something sparkled during when they were young, something intrigued them. So I think my thoughts about mothers, guardians, that they've got a greater impact in acknowledging and also encouraging kids to pursue science and technology. I think it's really, really important. So continue, Patrick.
Yes. Yes, and I also had a computer growing up, so all of that made me so interested in science and technology and how it's impacted the world. I watched a lot of science projects on TV. I remember when I was in high school, I joined what we call JETS. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes,
Junior
yes.
Engineers, Technology Scientists. So when I was in my 10th grade, I did my first JETS project, which was something to do with making a fridge using charcoal, like the same charcoal that we use to start fires and flames. So all of this has inspired me to do something related to science. And then after I finished my high school, I did an advanced certificate with Allison Academy,
Mhm.
where we did digital networking, security systems,
Mhm.
and that also connected me to do a lot with IT because I'm an IT person as well. And after that, I remember getting a job with a company called Kazan. I don't know if you know it.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's here in Zambia, where they offer network solutions to companies like
Wow. Patrick has got very interesting story, you guys. He's zooming in and out. I can't drop him. I mean, he's just amazing to listen to. Let's hang in there, guys. He's coming back. He's pouncing from, I think, key to a copper belt. So I will keep bringing him in. Let's be patient. Be patient. You guys are doing a good job, great job, hanging in there. I know it's very difficult, but you guys are doing a great job. Please, please hang in there. He's going to come back. I think he's zooming in and out. So let's give him a little bit of time. So I was saying, parents, guardians, mothers, we have a greater impact in encouraging girls to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I see this from, go ahead.
Yes, so after I got some work with Kazan, where we dealt with a lot of network solutions and IT problems for the network service providers and also the banks, because they deal a lot with ATMs and the point of sales. So all of that inspired me, and I decided let me go for electromechanical.
And Patrick, can you hear me, Patrick? Seriously, Perry, yes, Patrick has to solve this problem. As engineers, we solve problems, so he has to solve this problem. So he needs to address it himself when he comes. So yeah, I'll still continue my story when he goes out. I continue. So I was saying, as parents, we need to guide our kids. We need to encourage them. We need to mention things over the table when we are eating. For example, to talk about driveless cars. There are driveless cars here in the United States. They have already started roaming the streets and all other countries. So that's a conversation you can start and ask your kids. Do you know about this? How would you think a driveless car would drive? So that would spark the kid and say, what are you talking about? How can a car drive by itself? Then you can get into that conversation. Sometimes you don't have to be a scientist or an engineer, or you have to be an expert in this field to encourage girls to pursue STEM. You can still talk about it. Sometimes you can go research a little bit, and then if your kid asks you, what about this, you don't know, you don't have to feel bad. All you can do is go research a little bit and then come back and discuss about it, so that you can just intrigue them. I was intrigued. For example, my father talked about outside the world, back in Africa. My father always talked about other countries. I was like, how do people in other countries live? That really inspired me to start thinking twice. So go ahead, Patrick.
Okay.
Hello, Patrick, can you hear us? I think he's still zooming out. Let's wait for him for a little bit and see what happens. Yeah. So when parents speak, or when teachers speak, or when those people around you speak when you are young, you really pay attention. And if they're talking about something that's very interesting, you start thinking about it. Your brain start wondering, what were they talking about? How can I know more about this? So it's very interesting that, kids, especially those people that I've spoken to, especially those that are engineers and scientists, something spark when they were young. Somebody spoke about it or something like that. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yes. From where I ended, I was like, that's how I went to the Copperbelt University in Kitwe.
Yes.
Then I started pursuing my bachelor's in electromechanical engineering.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm in my third year, and we do a lot with electromechanical devices, programming machines, where you control a machine using your computer. We do a lot with there's a lot of physics involved, and it's okay. It's a bit challenging in the sense that you're dealing both with mechanical and electrical, because there's some stuff which is specifically electrical and some stuff is specifically mechanical, but you have to like balance on both ends. But it's a very interesting program. It's a hybrid program, of which CBU is the only institution in Zambia offering the same, but it's very innovative.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes,
and Patrick,
you also deal a lot with, there's a lot of math involved. Yes.
Patrick, Perry posed a question.
There's a lot of math involved.
Perry asked this question.
Yes.
He's saying they are really interested in your story. Your story is very exciting, but they're saying when you finished, you better solve this problem.
Yes, actually, to answer on that, I think in Zambia, the STEM is not really being invested in much. I feel if such is being invested in at a young, maybe at primary school level or junior secondary, it will guide people. Because personally, I never had anyone to like mentor me into what I'm doing. I discovered certain things on my own through the TV, the internet.
Curiosity.
Yes, and I was so curious because science is so interesting, and you deal with a lot of problems, and it just makes you feel like I need to impact and do something for the world and the planet. I need to make a difference out there and make people happy.
Yes.
Yes.
So they want me to bring in Elon Musk. Sure, Perry, I will.
Yeah, that would be very wonderful. That would be very wonderful.
Yes, go ahead.
I like this platform in the sense that it's encouraging a lot of people to do with STEM related stuff, because I feel that engineering and science is the future. So I think everyone has to look ahead and just focus on that, because that's what's driving the world as we speak. I know there are other industries like the food industry, the finance, but all those are being driven on the science and technology, because without science and technology, I feel the world wouldn't be running because of what's going on.
That's very right what you've just said there, that science, technology, engineering, and mathematics unlocks our future and the economy. And that's why I keep saying in the next generation and in the next future, there is nothing that is not going to be without science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So that's why I would like to invest in the future generations, the young ones, and also to appeal to parents. Right now, I'm trying to appeal to parents that if they can engage their kids in this conversation, and I don't care where, I just want to make sure that they can understand that if they can only engage the kids and discuss STEM, you never know what seed you are actually
Yes.
putting under the ground, there may not be resources. For example, where Musonda is, Patrick, you know, in Zambia, I was in Zambia. I didn't complete my engineering in Zambia. I completed it in the United States. But when I see people like you who have just curiosity, and within the resources that we have, and you've managed to get to where you are, it's just amazing. I hope you can hear me, Patrick. So it's just so amazing. And so it's the determination that also matters, you know. It's how much curious the child is. It's not that maybe there are few universities. You never know. There's not only one way to get to engineering. I didn't go to University of Zambia when I was in Zambia, but because of my tenacity and because of my drive, you know, somehow, somewhere, you know, I got privileged. But I just want to appeal to mothers, guardians, fathers, uncles, that it's engaging these kids. And you will see that people around you, those people around you will be able to also get that vibe, and they will get that spark when you talk about it. So that was really interesting. I think we've come to the end of this discussion. And Patrick, I will bring Patrick again, guys. I have to bring him next Saturday. So guys, stay tuned every Saturdays. You know, come join us. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll have so many things, so many activities going on. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming. Thank you for always coming to my channel, to watch my channel. You know, I'm here to bring you very good, interesting content. And for now, I think we're going to end this, and ciao, ciao. Thank you so much. Bye. See you next Saturday. Bye. Love you guys so much.